Prayer in public schools is frowned upon these days. Most people are turned away from religion and don't want it in schools. Is the government to blame? Since 1962, the year of the Supreme Court ruling in the case of Engel versus Vitale, prayer has been removed from public schools. Not only did prayer get removed, but the Bible did as well in 1963. In addition, the United States Supreme Court has clearly ruled that organized vocal prayer and ceremonial reading from the Bible are unconstitutional practices in public schools, including school assemblies, athletic activities, and special events.
David, let me start with you. How did the school, specifically the school district, violate the First Amendment in this case?
Well, it violated it quite flagrantly, really. It had an assembly where there was proselytizing and prayer and preaching. Really, you would have thought that it was a fundamentalist Christian school, the way that they were carrying on. So we filed a lawsuit back in the spring of 2013 and got a court order in the fall of 2013 where it seemed to be very clear that this kind of behavior had to stop. But then in the spring of 2014, what did they do? They had an assembly where they invited a pastor in to lead a prayer to start off the assembly, so they just didn't get the message, and that's why we filed a contempt motion.
Now, Sam, under the Constitution, how do you defend things like that, the distribution of Bibles and Christian prayers in public schools and events like this?
Well, Lauren, I think it's very easy to do so because the First Amendment, by its very, very clear essence, is to protect the right of the practice of what one personally believes, and the right to talk about God. You know, the notion that some have and humanists have that, for instance, that God or the Bible or morality or the Ten Commandments or anything of that type constitutes a religion is to deny the very concept that God, Jesus Christ, are not a religion. They are not a religion. They are God. And our founders understood this. And what they said and what they did was very, very, very clear. So to take and say that the founders, that are those who put together the Declaration of Independence, our Constitution, did not allow for any mention of God is to deny the veracity of history and everything.
How do you feel about the video that was just shown?
I chose this topic because I view it as a huge issue in our government. Being born into a Christian family, it breaks my heart to know that people are turning away from God and prayer. There are so many good things that come out of it, and people nowadays are ignoring it and taking their lives for granted. I want to research this project to open the eyes of people and make them realize that prayer in school is sometimes necessary.